So let me start by revealing my bias. I'm a planner. Sometimes I get so involved in planning that I lose track of time. And I confess that too often I love planning things more than I like doing things. If you're familiar with the Myers-Briggs type indicator, J is my strongest attribute by far. I've been this way for a long time too. I had a physical planner at a very young age. I started scheduling weekly planning appointments with my mom since I was in junior high. So when I say nothing saves or makes money more than a good plan, it might just be because I'm good at planning. And that might make you think if you're not good at planning, you should stop listening now. And that would be sad, because I'm going to give you some exact how-to pointers for growing your planning skills. Yes, I used the word skills. You can become a better planner. It might take you longer to plan at the beginning while you're learning, but over time, it's going to be totally worth it. Remember, nothing saves or makes money more than a good plan. Now, sure, there were things that came along for which I didn't or couldn't plan as part of my entrepreneurial journey. And they still do. You can't plan for everything. What you might not realize, though, is that because I had a plan, I was way better able to take advantage of unexpected opportunities and deal with unexpected threats. One of my favorite examples of taking advantage of an unexpected opportunity is when we got the chance to partner with a stable nonprofit that would bring us credibility and other added benefits. I strongly believe that they took us way more seriously because I had a business plan in PDF form. I was ready to share and discuss. This partnership has been invaluable to us and to them for years, both in terms of money made and money saved. It may never have happened if I didn't have a plan. So, yes, there'll be things that come that you couldn't or didn't plan for, but because you have a plan, you'll be better able to take advantage of them. So, here's my step-by-step plan for how I developed my plan. This is exactly how I developed a solid plan to open our social enterprise coffee house, and it only cost me the price of a few good books, which you could borrow from a library and pay $0 to enact this plan. So here we go. Step 1, get a basic business plan book and a notebook, or if you have a computer, you can start a doc on your computer, maybe in Google Docs. And then step 2, you're going to read that business plan book cover to cover. You're going to take notes as you're reading. And your notes will take the form of an outline of the entire book with specific items that really stand out. Include any questions that come up while you're reading, maybe write them in a different color or with a special asterisk so they stand out. And, like as I take notes, I write symbols like a square for my to-do items, like that you would put a checkbox in once you've done them. Or I use like big question marks, like 3 of them, for then my question comes after them. So I can see like, oh, this is a question that I had as I read through. So that's step 2. Step 3 is to take your outline and transform it into a to-do list, or I actually like to call them objective lists. This to-do list is going to say, you need to do this part of the business plan, you need to figure out this, you need to ask this question, all of those things. You're going to have your questions on there and the actual to-dos. That's why I like to call them objective lists. You might have a list of questions for your attorney and a list for your accountant. You'll have a list of research to do, plans to formulate, budgets to create, paperwork to complete, and so forth. So that's step 3. You're taking all this outline and you're transforming it into an actual list of things to accomplish, questions to get answered. And then step 4, you're going to find a book, another book, about how to start a business exactly like the one you want to start, or, within the same industry. Like ours is a coffee book, a book about starting a coffee shop. It wasn't about starting a social enterprise coffee shop, but at least had a lot of coffee things. So this should be a specific book about your industry and how to start a business within that industry. And then you're going to do the same step 5 is to do steps 2 and 3 with that business industry specific book. You're going to read it cover to cover. You're going to take notes while you're reading. You're going to transform those notes into your objective list with questions and all that. And then step 6 is to take this whole list of things and try to rank it in terms of priority. Then get started right away with priority 1. This actually should be a 7-step plan, and step 7 should be to do the list. But I've got some rookie mistakes to avoid as you're doing this. And the first one ties really well into when you're executing this plan. The rookie mistake is trying to do every single thing on the list. Now, you might, intuitively, you might understand you do one thing at a time. You're not trying to do everything at once. But really, what I mean here is if you get 20% of that list done, you're doing awesome. And if those 20% are the biggest priority things to start with, like, we talked about in step 6, that you ranked in terms of priority, then you're doing the top 20% of the most important things to do. And that falls really well in line with the 80-20 rule, which suggests that that top 20% will be the most important and will have the biggest influence on your success. So avoid that rookie mistake and of trying to do everything on the list. Prioritize, do the top 20%, and feel good if that's all you accomplish. You might still accomplish some of the other things, but just wanted to put that out there. Second rookie mistake to avoid is trying to do everything perfectly. Do your best. As you put more and more of the plan into action, you'll learn more, and you can come back and make improvements. But if you try to do everything perfectly from the beginning, you're wasting your time. You need to do your best, and then just keep moving forward. And your best will improve over time as you come back to those things to improve them. So avoid that rookie mistake of trying to do everything perfectly. And then the next rookie mistake is letting the big list make you feel overwhelmed. Everyone's list is going to be big. There will always be too much to do. Practicing making decisions about what's important to do and focusing there is a huge thing that will be really helpful to you. Prioritization is one of the most important skills of an entrepreneur. Not only are you growing these planning skills through this process, but you're growing your prioritization and focus skills as well. So don't let this big list make you feel overwhelmed. Instead, see it as an opportunity to learn more and more about planning, prioritization, and focus. And then the final rookie mistake to avoid is thinking that you can skip planning and just learn as you go. Remember, I started with nothing saves or makes money more than a good plan. Skip these steps if you want to spend more money. Without the learning, you'll make more mistakes, and mistakes will cost you money. In addition, having a solid plan is a key ingredient to bring to the table when you're trying to make or raise money. I know this to be true from experience. Not only did I build that partnership that I mentioned earlier, but I raised enough money to get started because I had and was able to communicate our plan. When one major loan was given to us, the person in charge of that loan said, "I'm arranging this loan because I can tell how intentional you are." He was basically saying he could tell we had a plan and we carried it out, and that's why he gave us that loan. Now, these 6 to 7 steps aren't the only option. Other options include going out and getting an MBA, taking an online or an in-person course. Those are all viable options. And if you have time and money to go do those, more power to you. And if you don't like reading or it's totally not your learning style, those other options could be really good for you. Do what's best for you, but don't make any excuses. These, 6 steps are available to every single person, no matter what. Now, I present this option as a terrific way to get a great plan together for what you need to do to create a business. And if you spend 2 or so hours per day on these steps, it'll probably take you 2 weeks to complete steps 1 through 3, and then another 2 weeks to complete steps 4 through 6. And that's 1 month to knowing exactly what you need to do to get your business going. That's not too shabby if I do say so myself. and probably unlikely to get if you try to go with another option. Plus, it could cost you $0 if you get these books from the library. But wait, there's more, and it won't cost you a penny, this more that I've got for you. We created a free webinar specifically with you in mind. This strategy that I presented today is only one of 7 proven strategies, and we're going to be sharing all 7 coming up in a live webinar. I mean, really, who wouldn't want to know the strategies to not only start your journey, but to complete it and leave a legacy and have financial freedom all at the same time? The official title of the webinar is 7 Proven Strategies for Starting a Business while Still Paying Student Loans Without Refinancing or a Rich Relative. We're just going to tell you right away, those are not 2 of the 7 proven strategies. You don't need to think about refinancing or rich relatives. We have 7 other ways to start a business while still paying your student loans. So where to go to register for an upcoming webinar is at overflowyourpossibility.com/webinar. That's overflowyourpossibility.com/webinar. I've got the link in the description of this video if you're seeing it on YouTube, or it's in the transcript or right below this video if you're catching us on our blog, which is a great place to catch us every single week. And we invite you to sign up for this webinar, get engaged with our community. We're raising the bar, bringing you better and better content every other week, and we've got some really exciting things coming up. So we'll hope you'll join us at a webinar, and we're only going to be doing 3 of these this month, so be sure you get registered. And we'll talk to you soon. Take care. Keep overflowing. Peace.